Central government revenue negatively impacted by Tropical Storm Erika. The Labour Party makes good on an election campaign promise to provide every student with a tablet. And the opposition recommends a smaller cabinet in aid of recovery efforts. I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. The details coming up.
Children, remember, adults should not ask you to keep secrets that make you feel uncomfortable.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
I love family traditions, don't you? The fun you have when you're all together, preparing a meal that you'll all enjoy. Having the right kitchen appliances help bring it all together, and you can find them at Quartz. Appliances that give you more, fridges that keep food fresher, stoves that cook meals better. At Quartz, you get the world's best brands at the best prices. I love that, and you will too. For small and large kitchen appliances, Quartz, bringing value home.
Use Ozone. 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 Never done till the dirt is gone. Ozone.
Babe, for the next 3 months, make sure you use your NBD credit card.
Okay, why?
Because you can get a chance to win a trip for the two of us to go to Martinique, Guadeloupe, or St. Lucia.
A trip for two? Cool. But we need spending money.
NBD will handle that. The trip plus $1,500 spending money.
Nice. So anybody can win?
New and existing personal credit card customers. So you see this long book list we have? And those new school shoes, uniforms, and things we have to buy? We'll use our NBD credit card.
Use your NBD credit card for purchases from now till September 30th and get a chance to win a trip for two to Guadeloupe, Martinique, or St. Lucia, plus $1,500 cash. Don't have an NBD credit card? Sign up today. Conditions apply. NBD, your partner, your bank. Your bank, your bank.
Get serious. Get bop.
There's a place in Portsmouth that's mellow.
The products and services are just mellow.
Located on Harbour Lane in Portsmouth, next to the St. John's School, it's Milo's Bakery.
Milo's Bakery offers a wide variety of tasty pastries and breads for your satisfaction.
Baked fresh and soft.
So come to Milo's for your tasty pastries.
Open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Saturday and from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays.
Call 445-4044 today.
First stop in the news, Tropical Storm Erika's impact on key areas of Dominica's economy, including agriculture and tourism and manufacturing, is already translating into a major shortfall in central government finances.
VAT revenues for the month of August were $10.3 million. For September, VAT revenues, originally projected at $11.4 million, stood today, 2 days before the end of the month, at $4.2 million, a shortfall of in excess of $7 million. And that scenario is replicated across government's revenue stream. It is for this reason, therefore, that I wish to appeal to private sector leaders in particular to be realistic with the demands on government over the course of the next few weeks, months, and even years. I am already in receipt of some mind-boggling requests for tax waivers and concessions that, were they to be granted, would effectively bankrupt and shut down this economy of Dominica.
Meantime, Dominica is also facing a housing resettlement program of monumental proportions. Over 890 homes have been destroyed or are uninhabitable.
The cost of resettlement, reconstruction, and repairs to these homes, housing a total of 4,229 individuals, is at a staggering EC $91,194,819, or United States dollars $33,565,762. $91 million, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of money. And the government, quite frankly, does not have it. We are determined, nonetheless, to negotiate the best possible terms for securing assistance through grants, loans, and joint venture arrangements to effect a major housing resettlement and reconstruction program across the length and breadth of Dominica.
But the Prime Minister says the country has bounced back miraculously and is on the road to recovery.
Commercial activity at the air and seaports has resumed to a satisfactory level. Anyone wishing to visit Dominica can hop aboard a private or commercial air or sea craft and arrive here safely and with no need to fear. Cargo and other goods destined for Dominica are once again arriving on a scheduled basis. This, however, does not take away from the Herculean task confronting us in terms of effectively re-outfitting Douglas Chelsea Airport in particular. While landings and takeoffs are permissible and encouraged, that is about all that is realistically in order at the airport at this time. As Minister for Finance, I shudder to think what the final reconstruction, retrofitting, and re-outfitting costs will be, as, in effect, we have to replace and upgrade 90% of what was there, and focus also on minimizing the probability of a reoccurrence of such destruction in the event of future bad weather.
In other news now, government has taken a major step towards ensuring that every child, regardless of socioeconomic background, enhance their learning using new technology. The handing over ceremony of the One Tablet Per Child initiative at PHL Secondary on Wednesday was very well attended. The Labour Party promised these tablets during the last election campaign. The tablets were apparently already on the island prior to Tropical Storm Erika, but the storm further delayed their distribution.
As Minister responsible for science and technology, I would like to challenge our young people to take advantage of the opportunities available within this dynamic sector. Be innovative, utilize your skills and talents to create and develop apps suitable for our local markets. Become entrepreneurs in this field and develop a bright and sustainable future for yourselves. The government of Dominica will soon be completing the Center of Excellence for ICT, and within the walls of this structure, the platform to propel you to maximize your skills and abilities will be set. This One Tablet Per Child initiative from the government of Dominica is testimony of the government's commitment to provide the requisite tools that will enhance our smart classrooms environment.
Our word is our bond. So here I am today in Grand Bay, along with Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit and the entire cabinet, along with Honorable Calvert Daru, Minister for Technology, to deliver to you what we promised, your tablets. Next week, we will deliver to the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School. And on Tuesday, the Portsmouth Secondary School. On Wednesday, we will deliver to the Castleborough Secondary School. And on Thursday, we will deliver to Northeast Comprehensive High School. And then we will deliver to the schools in and around Roseau.
Today we are here to enhance your ability to learn, give you greater opportunities for learning by the One Tablet per Child initiative. And we're to ensure that all of you have access to the technology, because I know many of you here whose parents can't afford, who you need to get a tablet or laptop, but your parents can't afford it. When we make a promise to you, the people of Dominica, we will keep it with God's help. And the good Lord has provided us with the resources to pay for these tablets. So in the midst of our struggles to rebuild our country, in the midst of us putting together the pieces left behind by Tropical Storm Erika, here's an opportunity to uplift our spirits and to recommit ourselves to building this country. This country, I keep saying to people, is not Roosevelt Scary's country. It is Dominica, it's our country. And every one of us must work hand in hand to rebuild our beautiful country, Dominica.
And the government is seeking professional advice on the future of Petit Savan, and in the meantime, the Office of Disaster Management is warning people against going sightseeing trips there.
Petit Savan is one of 9 communities declared special disaster areas by the disaster experts. As of the 15th of September, 13 people are officially dead following the passage of Storm Erika, majority of whom are from Petit Savan. But unofficially, we have learned that 19 Petit Savan residents are feared dead from Storm Erika's impact. The population of the Southeast community as of the May 2011 census numbered 753.
Well, Petit Savan remains a special case for us. It still remains high on the priority list in terms of the special disaster areas that have been declared. And for that reason, we still are encouraging persons to exercise restraint in wanting to go to Petit Savan, especially if you do not have business there. We have come to understand that some people want to go sightseeing, and that is not advisable at this time.
First responders reported crossing some 200 landslides in the community due to Storm Erika's impact. Efforts are ongoing to clear debris there.
And also it has been reported that there may be situations where you might find yourself in knee-height mud, soft earth and soft mud. So we're encouraging people to stay away from the area if there's no reason to be there. As we speak, the government is seeking professional advice on the future of Petit Savan. But the government is engaging experts, professionals, who will advise accordingly, and the decision will be made whether the entire area is restricted from further building activity or residential activity. But that is not for me to say.
The road to the community was cleared last week to allow the people of Petit Savan who evacuated to return for their belongings.
I know the police are still maintaining a presence at Petit Savan, and obviously so, because a lot of people still have valuable assets in Petit Savan, and therefore we have to maintain a security presence to protect the assets of the people. Arrangements will be made with the police for persons who wish to go and collect their assets, but that will be done in an orderly fashion, and so not any and everybody will be allowed to go into Petit Savan willy-nilly to just sightsee.
To the courts now, where prominent Dominican mechanic Claudius Kokomlita of Pishley was sentenced to 10 days in jail on Wednesday for contempt of court. This after he failed to obey a court order to pay over $40,000 to former Prime Minister Edison James for defamation. James sued Later for libel after he alleged that Later, on a show then hosted by Leonard Pappy Baptiste on Kyrie FM on July 22, 2008, made statements which were defamatory to him and which were motivated by malice. After Later is alleged to have accused James of building a $4 million hotel in Barbados and went on to inquire as to where James had gotten the money. In a ruling on December 15, 2011, Later was ordered to pay damages of $45,000 and cost of more than $4,000. That appeal was dismissed and he has failed to pay since. Gildan Richards, who represents James, asked the court to commit Later to prison for contempt. In other news now, members of the Public Service Union have decided to forego their 2015-2016 salary increase in aid of Erika recovery.
General Secretary of the DPSU, Thomas Later, says the union assessed the damage done by the storm and carefully analyzed the situation post-Erika. At a meeting on Monday, executives of the union approached the general membership on the idea and recommended foregoing salary increases for the first year of the triennium.
In addition to that, we will not be asking for any increases to allowances or any new allowances. And we believe by taking that position, we will be making a contribution towards the rebuilding of our country.
Later says the union had a request to government in further development efforts.
We are now writing to the government because we agreed at the meeting that we would request from the government that every fortnight certain public officers who have skills, who possess certain skills, will be allowed to stay in their community or in neighboring communities where they can assist in the rebuilding process of this country.
The DPSU boss says although they are still at loggerheads with the Public Works Corporation, Dominica is still our country.
But we believe that this is our country, and we believe that while the Public Works Corporation employees are not being dealt with fairly, we believe that while they have been victimized and while they have been treated badly, that they are in a situation where they can provide for themselves and their families. They have not been getting salaries for a number of months now. They have been laid off for almost 11 weeks. That notwithstanding that, this is our country at the end of the day.
Lurian Graham Carter reporting for Channel 5 News.
You're watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, we'll have more court news and other stories. Stay with us.
A world leader in manufacturing for the cutting professional, Makita's very own diamond blades provide maximum efficiency for coring, cutting, and polishing all types of masonry.
Another good product put out again by Makita.
Longer life, durability, optimum performance. Makita diamond blades provide a powerful edge that lasts.
Nothing nicer than having a good blade.
Go beyond the ordinary. Go with Makita.
Do you need cash now? Then the National Cooperative Credit Union is the way to go. Get up to $8,000 right now with a Now for Now loan. Go to our website at nccudominica.com for details and apply for a Now for Now loan at any NCCU branch to get your cash right now.
Introducing the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz has joined with Ashley Furniture, the #1 selling home furnishings brand in America, to bring you the most extraordinary furniture selection at unbeatable prices. It's now easier than ever before to find that perfect furniture piece for your home. And what's more, you can add that special touch with the right accent piece from our range of designer accessories from Ashley. Create the perfect look for your home with the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home. Visit the new Ashley Gallery at our Roseau store.
Lesnar's go-to-hell tour ends in Los Angeles against the most formidable opponent in WWE history. The Undertaker in the most formidable match ever. Hell in a Cell.
And calls are being made for a reduction in the size of the cabinet. Here's more.
Member of Parliament for the Roseau South constituency, Joshua Francis, made the statement during an interview with Channel 5 News. Earlier this week, Francis declared that he would contribute 15% of his parliamentary salary to his constituents who live in Paradise Valley, one of the main areas heavily impacted by the tropical storm. Francis says a smaller cabinet will ensure more financial assistance to different sectors of the country.
Team Dominica United Workers Party, under the leadership of the Honorable Lennox Linton, has called for the government of Dominica to cut its cabinet size, to reduce the number of advisors to the Prime Minister, because we are of the view that this is public expenditure on unproductive exercises. And with the given situation in Dominica right now, given the economic situation, we are of the view that the government has to lead by example. If we talk about prudent public expenditure, if we talk about prudent fiscal management, if we talk about caring, if we talk about patriotism, if we talk about genuine leadership.
During the country's post-Erika recovery efforts, Francis believes it is best to have a reduced cabinet, therefore diverting more funds to the relief process.
It is something that had been considered before, but after much assessment, the conclusion was that the current size of cabinet should be maintained more than ever, given the financial situation in which we are and which we are likely to go through over the next few months. It is the right thing to do. It's the honest thing to do in the interest of Dominica to cut cabinet size.
Francis also commented on the suggestions that the existing cabinet donate from their parliamentary salaries to the recovery efforts.
I think it would be more appropriate to cut the cabinet. We have a number of ministers whose portfolio can fall within another's portfolio. We have a significant number of ministers. As a matter of fact, we have the most number of ministers per 1,000 persons in the OACS. So if they don't do so and they think that, fine, we do not want to get rid of a cabinet position, in the alternative, they could also reduce the salary or contribute something of their salary to the people of Dominica.
Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Donald Massicott, 24, of Badaka, has been sentenced to 8 years in jail. This happened on Wednesday. This after he pleaded guilty to a charge of manslaughter. He was first charged with murder, but it was later reduced to manslaughter by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP. During an altercation with John Tyson, his uncle, in January 2014, he used a knife and stabbed his 52-year-old uncle in the throat. According to police reports, Tyson was found in an unconscious state with wounds to his lower chin and right side of his face. Tyson reportedly has died, in fact, from the stab wounds. And a group of 40 people will become the first batch of certified community emergency response team members since Tropical Storm Erika.
Training is ongoing at the Office of Disaster Management, ODM, in Jimit for volunteers from East and Southeast communities to officially become first responders. The activity was disrupted by Storm Erika after 2 days into its start. The 5-day-long training is being put on by the ODM in collaboration with the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Dominica Association of Local Community Authorities.
We are working in collaboration for some time now. We receive funding from the JEF program, approximately $50,000 US, where we could invest in the training of the young people on the southeast. Last week we received a number of equipments that we ordered from the United States, emergency kits, emergency bags, all the hats, the reflective vests, and all the equipment you see here. We received them last week after we ordered them for that training.
Volunteers from other districts will also be trained.
We have already applied for another set of funding to train enough. So as soon as it comes through, we will start off the training of. I have started gathering the names from the different village councils so we could prepare a list of the areas and the people that will be doing the training. After that, we will be attempting to do district after district. So after the East, Southeast district, we will be doing the north of the island, and we will continue to look for the other districts. And we will be training 2 people from each village, who in turn, after they get the training, will go back to the community and teach what they have learned.
CERT members are trained in first aid, basic search and rescue, and fire safety.
I can make a difference in the lives to try to help to save a few lives because I'm a school teacher, and I can be there to assist them in case of a fire, in case of something, to help them to be safe. I teach grade 5, but mostly I meet all the children at the school in one way or the other. If something happens, at least we take charge of that. You know, if a child falls and bruises or have a broken arm, we look for a piece of cloth and we'll put a sling, but now we know better, we know the proper way to do it, so it will assist us and to ease the pain of the individual. We have learned a lot of different skills, how to administer people who are sick, how to help them, how to do bandages, how to assist the firemen in case they come. And our role is to be the first responders, to make way. As soon as the professional reach, then we can hand over and give them a detailed account of what has transpired.
Well, since I'm part of the disaster preparedness team back home at La Plaine, we are going through search and rescue. We are doing different things in this program. So this helps me, give me a better perspective as to my role in the community and how I can participate in search and rescue and so on.
And the Member of Parliament for Roseau South constituency has given an update on reconstruction efforts in his constituency following the passage of Tropical Storm Erika.
The tropical storm caused severe damage to roads, bridges, houses and buildings around the country, and the Roseau South area was no different. 1 month and 3 days after the tropical storm, the cleanup efforts in Roseau South are being described as successful. The Dominica Water and Sewerage Company, DOWASCO, is being commended for its assistance in providing water to areas where the water supply was destroyed by Erika.
We have made significant progress in the reconstruction process in Roseau South. As you're aware, in places like Jodel, Eggleston, 9 houses, and Upper Kingshill are without pipe-borne water. And DOWASCO has been making its contribution in providing fresh water to the people, particularly in Jodel and Eggleston, where temporary tanks were set up. 2 temporary tanks were set up at Jodel, one at the Jodel Primary School, for the facilitation of supply of water for the public. So that is commendable. But we continue to struggle with the absence of pipe-borne water.
Dredging of rivers in this constituency is extremely important, as some riverbeds are still raised as a result of heavy deposition. Intense rains may therefore cause flash flooding and water damage to structures around the waterways.
3 rivers have been carded for dredging. However, only 2 have been dredged thus far, the Loubier River and the Castle Comfort River. The heavy equipment responsible for dredging the Bafisset River has left and gone into another constituency where a more urgent matter had to be taken care of. However, we're hoping over the next few days that heavy equipment will be back in the Bafisset River where the necessary dredging will take place.
The clearing of landslides and debris from drains and roadways has also been going well.
Our drains have been cleaned. Emzol, there's ongoing work in cleaning up our culverts and drains, as well as in Castle Comfort. Our culverts have been cleared and cleaned. Drains are being cleaned throughout the constituency. Loubier has returned almost back to normal. Kingshill, same. You know, we had a few slides at the Kingshill area. A few residents were affected. Upper Reggate in particular, we have a road which is undermined, as well as in the Jodel Road passing through Castle Comfort. We're hoping that in time that these areas will be reconstructed.
Francis says there are challenges being encountered in this post-Erika relief period. However, he is appealing to individuals to be understanding to the country's plight in its recovery efforts.
One of the challenges which we have had in Roseau South is the absence or limited number of heavy equipments. As you would have noted, the leader of the opposition, Honorable Lennox Linton, has called for an inventory of the number of heavy equipments we have on the island. In my constituency, we have had a problem in getting adequate number of heavy equipments to operate. Another challenge that I've had is there are a number of young persons in the constituencies forming parts of work crews, basically cleaning the drains. They have become anxious because they have not been able to obtain payments. So I just want to take the opportunity to remind those who are involved in crews to be patient. They will be paid. That is a commitment which has been given by the government of Dominica, and I have no doubt that payments will be forthcoming.
You're watching Channel 5 News. Sports is next with Andrea Louis.
In sports, various playing fields have suffered damage from Tropical Storm Erika. Among those hardest hit is the Geneva playing field in Grand Bay.
For the damage done at the Geneva playing field, and the damage done to the Geneva playing field in Grand Bay is massive. It is one of our leading sports facilities, and I really invite your cameras to take a look at what has happened to the Geneva playing field. The situation there is something which would probably require the funding that would be needed for the construction of a new playing field.
Meantime, playing fields in Collyho and Bath Estates have also been identified as being severely affected by the tropical storm. In Domino, the Bernard brothers of Grand Bay emerged victorious at the regional White Oak Rum Domino competition in St. Vincent, walking away with $10,000 prize. The dynamic duo, renowned for their exploits in domino matches in the past, proved last weekend that they are still capable of staying true to their reputation. Meantime, in the Kubuli Chebe Sao Domino League, Game 1 saw Babi with 88 does, 3 points, Melvina 72 does, 2 points, and Strikers 61 does, 1 point. The second game had Simple with 80 does, 3 points, Attackers 66 does, 2 points, and We In Dat 16 does, 1 point. Wrapping up the game were Golden Arms with 77 does, 3 points, Rabbit Hole 74 does, 2 points, and Homeboy 71 does and 1 point. And now for basketball, Elijah Law Chambers Thunderers will take on Kyrie FM Old School Wednesday night in the DABA National Basketball League Finals. That match was due to have taken place last Saturday, but had to be postponed due to lighting issues. The results of that match will be given in a subsequent sportscast. That's all the time we have for sports. Join us next time.
And we're hearing of tropical waves in the Atlantic. Your weather report is next.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. An upper-level trough generated an abundance of high-level clouds across most of the islands of the Lesser Antilles today. However, partly cloudy skies were observed across Dominica. Meanwhile, Joaquin has intensified into a hurricane and now poses a threat to the Bahamas area. We'll now move on to today's radar imagery, which indicated isolated showers and thunderstorm activity across the island during the afternoon. Tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy with a few scattered showers. And tomorrow, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with some scattered showers. Sea conditions tomorrow will be moderate in open water, with waves picking up to 5 feet. And looking ahead, an increase in moisture levels will result in mostly cloudy skies with some scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorm activity Friday into Saturday. These conditions are expected to persist through the weekend and into early next week. And across the Lesser Antilles tomorrow, thunderstorm activity is possible across the islands to the south of the chain, while occasional cloudy skies and scattered showers are expected across the islands to the north. And on the international scene tomorrow, overcast skies are expected in New York, sunny conditions in Miami, London and Beijing, with a chance of thunderstorm activity in Caracas. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:55 a.m. and will set at 5:55 p.m. For further information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a good night.
And that's news. The headlines again. Central government revenue negatively impacted by Tropical Storm Erika. The Labour Party makes good on an election campaign promise to provide every student with a tablet. And the opposition recommends a smaller cabinet in aid of recovery efforts. Be reminded that you can watch the news on YouTube and feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian. Thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow.